Looks like his main is mining out as we speak. And Jaedong has actually solidified that 6 o'clock position with a lot of sunken colonies as well as a couple lurkers. So that's going to be a somewhat of a tough base for Stork to attack, because that's so close to Jaedong's reinforcement position that if Stork was to try and push on that area, Jaedong's going to be able to reinforce very, very quickly. It looks like he is actually going to push here, and one of the Archons getting picked off with some nice micro there by Jaedong, expending some micro there. Good Storm picking off some of the units there, and it doesn't look like Jaedong has enough units here to really hold. It doesn't look like it, but the thing is that if Stork really presses, if Stork tries and bashes his way in at the 6 o'clock position, it's going to be bad for him, because his army will be out of position, and Jaedong will be able to attack his other bases, or maybe even get a really strong pincer. It looks like right now what Jaedong's decided to do is not try and pinch this army in. He's actually going to try and take down this base at the top left again, streaming just a ton of Zerglings into the area. And the Zealots, oh no, the Zealots for Protoss have been pulled to the 12 o'clock base, going to stop that from going up. And it looks like, oh, and a probe transfer being caught as well. A lot of probes going down. It looked like a half dozen, maybe more probes going down there. And Stork just has lost a lot of probes this game. Looks like he's got enough cannons there at the top left that he is going to be able to hold long enough for his reinforcements to get there. So good for him that he's able to save it. That's very, very important that he's able to get those storms in there. Nice storms catching a lot of the Zerglings. So to save that Nexus, if that storm doesn't go down, that Nexus is definitely at risk. That would have been very, very close if Jaedong would have been able to pick off that Nexus. And if Jaedong picks off that Nexus, Stork can just about call it quits. That's just too much mining to be behind 5 bases to 3, 4 gas to 2. That is too much for a Protoss player. It looks like a shuttle has been produced, and we're going to see some Zealots into the main, and this is going to be a tech snipe. This is going to be a big time tech snipe. He's going to try and pick off everything that he can. Going to get the spawning pool, it looks like, first, and Jaedong's going to have to react quickly, otherwise he's going to lose a lot of tech. Looks like the spawning pool is going to go down. We'll see if the Defiler Mound goes down as well. It's going to be close. The Defiler Mound is going to go down. Those Zerglings are not going to be in time. Defiler Mound and spawning pool go down. Looks like Jaedong's going for a counter drop here. Jaedong going for a counter drop at the bottom left, using that 6 o'clock base as a staging ground for this drop. We'll see how much damage it's able to do. Some cannons are in position. Some Zealots are there as well. Nice swarms going down as well. We got a lot of High Templars pulling back. Going to be able to get some storms off. But will they be in time before there's a counter death going down here? Evolution Chamber going down for Jaedong. And Jaedong is actually losing his entire main. Tons of drones going down. The Evolution Chamber goes down. The Spire is at risk as well. Could see that go down. Doesn't look like any tech buildings for Stork have actually gone down. Jaedong actually is losing a lot here. He's not able to take down any of the tech, and Stork has been done a ton of damage to the tech. And Stork also able to withstand this small push of Zerglings that was coming out there for Jaedong. And Jaedong, we see him at 141 supply right now. He's got a decent amount of down of gas. He's got a little over 1,500 gas. Got about 800 minerals, so he's got some money to work with. You can definitely macro up somewhat of an army off of that, but not a good exchange at all in those drops for Jaedong at all. Obviously, Zerg buildings are so much more frail than Protoss and Terran buildings, and usually when you see this kind of thing, it's kind of like at the end in elimination races and all kinds of things. Zerglings are at a Zerg is at a disadvantage in that kind of a situation. Definitely don't want to be trying to trade buildings. It's not really where you want to be. But it looks like Jaedong's going to go for another drop, and this looks like it's a ton. This looks like it could be a huge drop, and Stork's army doesn't look like it's well positioned to deal with this at all. It's out by Jaedong's rally point. That is not going to be the spot to defend his main. His main is going to take some damage here. I can't even see how much is there. Zerg is just now pulling over there. Good storms going down, catching a lot of the units. Jaedong not able to dodge those storms very well. And a couple cannons left, but it looks like the cannons are not going to be enough. Cannons are not going to be enough, and there are going to be some units left. It looks like they've taken down the Stargate. They might be able to get the Templar Archives. If the Templar Archives goes down, that will definitely be a hurt. But notice that the Forges are still alive. That's really important that the Forges are still alive, still upgrading, whereas Jaedong has definitely lost at least one Evolution Chamber. Looks like the Templar Archives is going to go down 150 health. Will it be saved? Can't tell. Some nice storms going down. Some nice magic box. A nice little magic box storm going down there by Stork. That looks really cool. I don't even know if it was purposeful or not, but it looked really cool. And some great storms again by Stork, putting his storms in the path of Jaedong's units. That is absolutely critical. Putting your units in the path of Zerg units. They move through the entire storm, and they take damage the entire way, and they all go down, which is really, really awful. But it looks like Jaedong has a ton of units streaming in, but it's not going to be enough. Enough Archons are there to fend off and protect the Dragoons, but it looks like he's lost his Nexus. Stork has lost his Nexus, lost his Templar Archive. Really needs to reproduce that Templar Archive somewhere else. Maybe it's at the top left, maybe it's somewhere else, but he needs to reproduce that Templar Archives because he needs to keep producing Archons. and High Templar as much as he can. Looks like that 12 o'clock base is finally up and running. It looks like it's well defended as well. So we've got this map split up half and half. But advantage Stork, I've got to say, overall, advantage Stork. Even though Stork has lost his main, he actually hasn't lost that much. He's lost his main Nexus, but it doesn't matter because it was a depleted mine, a depleted Geyser as well was mining off. If he's lost a Stargate, but he hasn't produced a Corsair in centuries, and he lost to Templar Archives, which he can pretty easily reproduce, I think. The key right now is that he hasn't lost forges, he hasn't lost gateways, he hasn't lost a lot of the key buildings that you're looking to get with these drops. You're really trying to get to the military production capabilities with these drops, and he was not able to do that, where Stork was able to do that, was able to kill off the spawning pool and the Filer mount. So now we're seeing defilers again, but it took a while for them to come down. We got a couple nice swarms here, and Jaedong is hopefully going to be able to defend here. Otherwise, we could see him fall pretty quickly here. We got some reinforcements coming in from behind, and that's going to be enough to at least thwart Stork for now. Some great game going, a great game going on here. Finally, today I've been able to see a game that's lasted for a little while. This is absolutely phenomenal. Great play by both these players. I gotta say, Stork has just looked a little. Jaedong looked better in the early game, but Stork has looked so brilliant lately. The drop exchange was in his favor, and I also loved his storms. This entire game, his storms have been brilliant beyond brilliant, and they have really been the key factor in this game. Has been those storms. They've just been so. I don't even know what to say. They were that brilliant. They were just so good and so vital to success here that it's you can't underestimate this. And we're seeing for Jaedong's first-person view again as Stork's coming in for attack. And it looks like Stork was very successful mopping up those lurkers and did not lose a lot of dragoons there. Did not lose a lot of his tech units. Still has some Zerglings or some Zealots left. Was able to keep that 12 Gok base pretty easily. Zerg is moving out again, but not actually going to commit. Not going to commit to an attack on either of the other bases. It looks like Jaedong might be going in for a drop. I don't think this is a good idea. There's a lot of cannons there. There's a couple Zealots and Stormers, and Stork's army is still close enough that it could turn around and get there pretty quickly. Maybe those Overlords aren't loaded, and I can't tell what they're doing. What are the Overlords doing? Okay, there we go. Here comes a drop. And at the same time, Jaedong's going for an attack. So he's going to do a dual-pronged attack. You're going to try and attack two areas at once. And this attack in the middle has probably delayed his attention. Great storms going down, catching a lot of the units as well. Swarm coming in here. That's going to be important. These cannons are not going to be very effective right now, but the Zealots are, and the Zealots, I think, are good.